I'm not always in that state whereby I'm excited about my celibacy journey. I'm excited about being this woman who's honoring God, which is why the main purpose of me being celibate is to honor God, because I don't want to be doing things that are dishonoring to God and all of that. So it's not always the case. I'm not always in that mental state. I'm sometimes in a state whereby I'm like, but God, when? But God, I'm tired. And it's tiring, guys. I don't want to lie. Hey guys, welcome to 2022. If you don't know me, if you're new to my channel, I'm Sinotano Sekhuno, and this is my channel whereby I talk about my celibacy journey. I talk about topics that are related to my faith, and I am actually thinking of changing the lifestyle part, because actually I don't even have a life. I don't have like an interesting life, if I may put it like that, because during the week I'm at work, and on weekends I run errands, and then I rest on weekends. So I just thought that maybe I should change that part, because people are going to look out for my lifestyle, and it's not going to be there because I'm not comfortable with vlogging. I don't know, maybe as time goes by I'm going to be comfortable. But just suggestion, I was thinking of putting motherhood, but I'm going to explain why. I was thinking of putting motherhood, and so it's going to be celibacy, faith, and motherhood. So for those who don't know me, I am 24 years old. I have a daughter that is 3 years old. So since birth, she has been living with my mother, because I was not in a financial I was not in a stable position financially. So she was living with my mother, and I did post on Instagram about that, and how I feel about that, and how now she is living with me permanently since 2 weeks ago. So yeah, so basically I'm going to be growing in my side of being a mother, because obviously I have been a mother, but I was not a full-time parent or a mother, because I wasn't living with my child. I was just visiting her and seeing her from time to time, or she would come and visit me throughout the years. And so that's how our relationship was between me and her. So now it's kind of different, because we will be living together full-time. And I think that there are going to be experiences and challenges and things that I'm going to be learning as I'm staying with her. So I was just thinking about adding that part of motherhood, and so that you guys can journey with me, you can grow with me, you can learn with me. I'll share my experiences, I will share my challenges, I will share some tips, if I have any tips with anything that is related to motherhood, and yeah, just anything. So if you are interested in hearing more about that, please put it in the comment section. Please say in the comment section, or if you think that I should keep that lifestyle there, even though I know I've made one vlog. Yeah, I've made one vlog, so I don't know if it fits, but yeah. Anyway, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is 2022. This is the year. This is the year that I'm supposed to be having a husband, 5 kids, a mansion, and some millions. According to my teenage self, that is the dream that I had when I was a young girl. I was like, at 22 years old, I will be starting work, and 24, 23, I'll buy a car and a house. 24, I'll get married, have kids. 25, I have this and this and this and this and that. And I am nowhere near that. I do have a child. I do have a potential husband. I do have a potential husband, but no car, no house, no 5 kids. So yeah, but I think that it's good to have those dreams, so that you know so that you try not to disappoint yourself, because at that time I didn't know better about life. I didn't know, obviously I was naive when I was thinking about life. I didn't know that there's so much challenges, there's so much that goes on, like even from university to work. It's not just fumana umsebenzi right there and there, and like umchato and getting married, having kids, having to settle down, all of those things. You don't really think about that. You don't really think about what it brings and what it takes to be there. So I was just dreaming at that time. But every day, each and every day brings me very, very close to that dream of mine. So one day it's gonna happen. One day I'm gonna have that mansion, I'm gonna have those kids, I'm gonna have that husband, that car, and that life that I was dreaming of when I was a young kid. So anyway, happy 2022. I hope that this year, I hope to grow this year. I hope to grow in all aspects of my life. I hope to grow spiritually with God. I hope to grow with my daughter. As I've mentioned, she lives with me now. So obviously we're going to have a very close relationship, and I want to grow that. I want to build a very good childhood for her. So I want to grow as a mother, as Usunatano first, as a mother, and as her mother. And I want to grow financially. I want to grow in this platform. I want to grow in my life. I want to grow in my life. I think growth, but I know that with growth, it takes a lot of discipline. So I need to be very, very disciplined in my life, which is something that I sometimes struggle with. And yeah, but I need discipline, which is equal to I need the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit gives us the spirit of discipline and self-control. So yeah, that's what I want to do for this year. I want to achieve that for this year. So just put in the comment, what do you want to achieve this year, and what do you want to change from last year to this year, and what were your dreams when you were a teenager, and how far are you in achieving those dreams? How far are you, and how is that going for you? And yeah, so yeah, just put it on the comment section, and I'm looking forward to reading your comments and interacting with you guys about your expectations when you were young and what you're looking forward to for this year. So coming to today's video, normally I am talking about a certain topic, and I try to give tips on that certain topics. For instance, I made a video about struggling with porn, so please do check that out if you have not seen it. Struggling with porn and masturbation. I talk about my experience, and then I kind of share tips that help me, and someone else who is in the same circumstance can apply. So but this video is going to be a little bit different, because I'm not here to talk about a certain topic per se, as to like I'm teaching or anything like that, but I just want to have like a real conversation. This is something that has been in my heart for some time, because what I don't want is to portray myself as someone who doesn't struggle with certain things, someone who is because it's related to my celibacy journey, but it's not struggles with celibacy specifically. Today I want to be very honest and real, and about the struggles that I face in my life, and it's more of a mental thing, or my emotions, what's going on the inside, more than like a physical thing or a spiritual thing or anything like that. So I just wanted to talk about that, so that if someone else is struggling with the same thing, if you're struggling with the same thing, you can know that you're not alone. Even I myself struggle. I don't mean it like that, but I mean it as someone who is on YouTube and encourages people to be celibate, to honor God. I do struggle with certain things, and this is not about sexual immorality or sexual struggles or anything like that. However, it's about what I want for myself personally, right? So without wasting time, in December, no? I know in December it's basically marriage season in December. People are getting lobolad, and if you don't know what lobola is, basically it's when a couple is going to get married, then the man is going to bring some cows to the family of the girl. I don't know how to explain it, but then the men bring cows to the family, cows or money to the family, and so basically is to initiate umtshato, marriage. And so it happens a lot in December. It's like it's marriage season. December is time where we have initiations and marriages and weddings. Weddings, basically, that's what I want to say. So this is what happened in last December as well. People were getting married, people were getting engaged, people were just celebrating, and that's beautiful. I love marriage, and I love weddings, and I think that in a society where we are told as women not to get married, it's beautiful to see that there's people who still value the institution of marriage, right? And so people were getting married, getting engaged, blah 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 blah, celebrating their lives and all of that. And so for myself, as someone who desires, if you watch my video, or if you've watched a video that I did with my boyfriend, you know that that's what we want for our relationship. We want to get married, and personally, as someone who desires to be married, as someone who wants to have that life, and it seems like it's taking time, right? It's taking time, and so it kind of put me in a very in a state where I was not a healthy. It wasn't a healthy state. I was very, I don't want to say jealous, because I was happy for the people that were in that season of their lives. I was very happy for them and everything, but I just felt like I'm missing out. I felt like this is what I want for myself, and it's not happening, and I'm not getting it. And it brought a lot of emotions, emotions that are valid. First of all, I don't want to make it as if I am just this, I don't know, but my emotions are very valid, because I have a dream and I am not achieving that dream, or that dream has not yet been achieved. And so obviously when I see something that is related to that desire of mine that I cannot achieve, or I have not achieved, I will feel some type of way. So my emotions are very valid, but it also brought up emotions that I just didn't like to feel. So I did take some time off on Instagram, because Instagram, yes, most Instagram people brag there, and that's good, because you show the good side of your life, or the good things of your life. I do that now sometimes. Now, so I was like, let me just get off Instagram, because it's like every time I'm scrolling, I married my best friend, people are engaged, don't is just related to that. So I was like, you know what, let me just leave Instagram, because I don't want to be reminded each and every time I log in that girl, it's not happening for you, or just to, I don't want to now idolize me getting married. I don't want to be at a place where I ignore all the things that God has blessed me with. And God has blessed me so much. God has been so kind to me, and yeah, He has blessed me so much last year. And just because this one thing or these two things didn't happen to me, it doesn't necessarily mean that my year has been bad, because I think that's what we focus on when we are reviewing our year at the end of the year. But like, okay, what kind of year did I have? And you kind of look like at the major things that you wanted to achieve and you didn't achieve, and then you sum it up as to my year was not great, or something tragic happened, and then you sum it up to your year not being great, and you forget all the things that God has done for you that if you would add all those things, or if you would count all those things, you would actually see that the good outweighs the bad. And in like overall, your year was actually good. But then because you focus on this one thing that didn't go right, then we have this tendency of just making the entire 365 days about that, you know. So that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to focus on that and ignore all the areas that God has been faithful and good to me and has blessed me in. And so I kind of wanted to focus on the good things that happened. And I remember the other December, I was on a date with my boyfriend, and we were having a conversation about what I'm telling you guys about, and I was telling him that things have not been great this year. Is just, yeah, I was just expressing my disappointment in and just everything, and talking about my unanswered prayers and all of that. And he stopped me and he reminded me that God has been faithful. He reminded me of the things that God has done for me. He reminded me, and he counted each and every one of them. And he would be like, remember the other day when we were talking a walk, and you were talking about this, look how it turned out. And yeah, so basically it wasn't bad at all. But at the same time, I was just not in a good space at all. So I took some time off Instagram. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about that. I want us to talk about what happens with Usnotando, who is embracing a journey yakhe of celibacy, because she's embracing her celibacy journey. Ngoba angatshadanga. If I was married, I wouldn't be talking about celibacy, but because I'm not married, I'm talking about celibacy. So I come to YouTube, talk about celibacy, give people tips here and there, talk about my struggles, talk about this, talk about that. But it's not all I'm embracing the journey. There's a season, like every season has its purpose. It doesn't always feel like that, even though I do believe it in my heart. Like I strongly believe it in my spirit, that each and every season has its purpose, and God is not trying to withhold me from experiencing life in its fullness. But there's a purpose for my season. There's a purpose for this season that I'm in, which is a season of not being married, which is a season of being celibate, and which is what led me to actually starting this channel, to share about my life while I'm still in that season. And yeah, but at the same time, then I'm not always in that state whereby I'm positive. I'm not always in that state whereby I'm excited about my celibacy journey. I'm excited about being this woman who's honoring God, which is why the main purpose of me being celibate is to honor God, because I don't want to be doing things that are dishonoring to God and all of that. So it's not always the case. I'm not always in that mental state. I'm sometimes in a state whereby I'm like, but God, when? But God, I'm tired. And it's tiring, guys. I don't want to lie. It's tiring being in a waiting season, as people call it, because basically you are waiting for something. I'm waiting to get married. I'm waiting for marriage, to have sex. I'm waiting to build like a life with my partner. I'm waiting to you know, all those things. So being in a waiting season can be very, very tiring. And in December, I was just so tired. I was just so tired. I was like, God, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired. I'm tired. I was just exhausted. I was like, I'm tired. I'm weary. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I was focusing on it so much, but I was tired, and I felt like kanti kuzode kube nini, kanti kuzode, like where there's positive things that come out from my season, but ndidiniwe. Like I have been celibate for how long? Almost 3 years. Over 3 years, but almost 3 years successfully being celibate, because I would say 4 years trying to be celibate. Because, you know, if you have watched our like my YouTube videos, you would know that it wasn't successful from the get-go. But my celibacy journey started when I was pregnant in 2018, and even though I have been successfully celibate since the 29th of May 2020. Yeah, since then. So it's almost 3 years now. But I'm tired, guys. I'm really tired. But I think that what took me out of that mental state was actually not focusing on that. And I know that God knows my desires, and I do pray about them. Oh, I forgot to mention that I was even in a state whereby I was not even praying about my desires. I was not even praying about my future goals. I was not even praying because I was like, what's the point? I felt like, what's the point of praying about it? I felt like God obviously has a plan, and I trust God. I trust God's plan. I trust that God has a plan, but I didn't see the need for myself to pray, because it will happen when God decides for it to happen, or when God has planned for it to happen. If in 2025, I was like, if in 2025, it doesn't matter how much I pray, I'm still going to get married in 2025, because that's what God wants for me. So I was like, then what's the point of praying? What is the point of me talking to God about it? I'm just wasting time. And every time I pray about it, I just feel like, yeah, God, blah 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 blah. But I'm like, okay, whatever. But then what I've learned is that it's good to still pray about it, also to remind myself about my goals as well. And also because it's a conversation. Praying is a conversation with God. Praying, it's not just demanding A, B, and C. I'm not just demanding that, God, by next year I want to be married. God, on this day, on this day, this is what I want. This, and that. It's not just about that. It's about having a conversation with God. And when I'm praying about it, I don't always have to be asking God for it to happen on this certain year, or on this certain day or date or whatever. It's not always about asking. It's also about expressing my disappointment. It's also about expressing that I'm tired, how I'm feeling, because I have this desire, I have this goal, and I'm not achieving it. So basically, when I was stopped praying, I was obviously I was disappointed that it's not happening, but I didn't think of it as to, even though it's not happening, I must still talk to God about how I feel, because it's not happening, if you got what I'm saying. So it has changed my perspective about praying. Praying is not only about asking, it's about communicating, as I would tell my friend about how I feel, or someone that is close to me. So that is what I wanted to talk about today. And if you're also tired being in the waiting season, I understand. And unfortunately, I don't really have tips. If you have to wait, you have to wait. But trust God, trust God's plan, trust God's timing. And it's not always easy. Trust is a very it's not an easy thing to do, it's not an easy thing to have, but it will happen when it's time to happen. And it will happen at the right time, and when it does, you will understand why you had to wait. And I don't know how long I'm gonna wait. I don't know, actually. Like, I would love to know, but izokwenzeka ngonyaka othile, or izokwenzeka ixesha elithile. Like, I would really love to wait, but that just defeats the entire purpose of not knowing. Because I think that God doesn't tell us the days that we will achieve certain things. He doesn't tell us the day we're going to die, because we will relax, okay, we will just be in a positive, we will be in a mental state whereby asikho motivated, or we're just not doing anything about it. But there's something about not knowing that pushes you. There's something about not knowing that makes you look forward to something, and you just constantly on your toes, because you don't know when you don't know the when, and that's where we have to trust God with the when. And yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that, and also to get you guys' perspective about waiting. How do you feel about waiting, and what are you waiting for? What are you hoping for with your waiting season? What what are you learning in your waiting season? Because it teaches us about a lot of things, even about our characters, guys. I'm not a very patient person, but I am growing in that area. I'm growing in being patient, and I feel like that's one of the things that God has been teaching me, is being patient. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Please don't forget to comment if you would love to see me talking about motherhood, my experiences, just my journey in motherhood. I think it's going to be a very beautiful journey, and I think I'm going to love it. I think I'm going to love it. There's something that I've longed for a very long time. So please do share in the comment section if that's something that you would love for me to bring on this channel. And yeah, guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please do share. And thank you so much to people who have actually subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. It's very encouraging to see numbers growing, and I know that it's not about numbers, but it really is encouraging to say that, oh, actually people do want to listen to me. People are actually listening to me. That's very encouraging. And yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and engaging and sharing. Please do share my videos. If you like it, share it so that someone else can see it. You never know who needs to see it, who never know who needs encouragement. You just never know, right? You never know. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on my next video.